So well done on being here tonight. Who came here tonight with absolutely no goals, no dreams, nothing in mind? Hands up. One or two. Awesome. Welcome aboard. Tonight will be interesting for you. Who came here tonight with something that they want to get out of their year? A goal, a dream, something they're looking to get. Right. Who's first time here tonight? Awesome, well done. I think we'll need more chairs next week. If it's just so that's awesome. So tonight, what I thought I'd do tonight, because after last week's talk, if you weren't here last week, I strongly encourage you to talk to the person that brought you along to get a hold of it. Because after last week's talk, anyone that heard that should be under no uncertain circumstances that a network is not something you have an option on. Right? It's a must, especially moving forward into what is happening in business and everything that's going on out in the marketplace. It's a must. But I've heard quite a bit in my time of being in the room. What do you get out of these sort of things? You know, how does this all really work? And we have people that come up afterwards that are going to go through some of that as well. But I thought tonight we might go through something that's a hubber's journey. So the hub is what we attend. So follow the bouncing ball. Not all results will be the same. You know, it's one of those provisos. You feel like it should say, you know, written and authorised by, you know, for Canberra or something afterwards. But it depends on you and your consistency. So not all results that I talk about tonight you will achieve. Some of you will get better results than we get. Some of you will get no results. Some of you will get awesome results. But those results will be 100% reliant on you and your level of consistency that you apply. Can we all agree on that as a starting point?
Yep.
Yeah? Cool. Awesome. So this is my number one hub. They are the reason I'm here every Monday night. They are the reason I get up in the morning. They are the reason, right? So you've got my wife. We're still to figure out why she's with me, but she is. It's good to be in sales, right? So you might as well use it for something. And then my eldest, Indy, and my youngest. Don't be fooled by her. She looks sweet and angelistic, right? She is a demon waiting to happen, that kid. Do not be fooled, right? There are things going on in that child's mind that you don't want to know about. I'm certain of it. She offered me a boogie sandwich this morning as I'm waking up. This is a kid that was designed to drive her mum crazy. Right? I love it a bit. I think it's hilarious, but you know, so that's my hub, and they are an amazing group. They keep me grounded every day, which is, we all need that, right? So first, have a look at what's on the table. So we've all heard the statement that if you're going to do something, it's a good opportunity when you start something new to sweep everything off the table and start afresh. But if you don't actually look at what's on the table, how do you know what's actually there before you swept it? So I want to look quickly at what's on the table when we talk about networking or growing a network deliberately. Right? So just really quickly, normal networking, what doesn't work? People networking are generally looking for an immediate win. They're generally turning up looking to increase their $18 spend on Vistaprint for 215 cards and try to turn that into a multiplier of how many jobs they can get using those cards, right? That's a normal networking meeting, right? And it almost seems like they should have a jacket on and they should show you their special widget or whatever they may do. You know, I don't show this to everyone, just to you. And if you show me your clients, wait until you see what I can do for them. That'll be even better than what I'm doing for you, right? And you kind of feel like I'm being gypped. And everyone, when that happens, you immediately stop and go, gee, I've got to do business with this person. No, none of you went, yes, right? That never works. Or at least very, very rarely. So that, to me, was the first place that doesn't work for most people. Revolves around ego, not people, and certainly not results. Every time I go to I'm convinced to go to another networking event, you get there and you're very quickly, under no uncertain circumstances, who are the people in the room that think they're the people in the room. Right? We've all been to them. You know, the breakfast, you get there, and even though it's a collaborative group, there are very set seats that these people sit at the top, and talk to them when they talk to you, but don't go out of your way to talk to them. Right? There's very much an ego and a hierarchy that sits in most of them. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. Right? And because of that, it's very limiting towards what results can come from it. More about what they can take than what you can contribute to the hub or to the group or to the networking. So they're looking at what's in it for them. It's the with them. Right? What's in it for me? Right? As opposed to what we've found works here is what's in it for the people we're working with. How do we add value to the people we're working with? How do we collaborate with the people we're beginning to group with? Right? So it's very much a different aspect that we're looking at. And again, we're not here to say any other networking group isn't worth your while. We're just here to say we've got a different way of looking at it. Right? I've been to some that actually I quite enjoyed. But I think we've all been to some that we don't. Right? And is this group going to be for everyone? Nope. But what we've found is a niche that seems to be working for us. Fair call?
Yep.
Cool. So, anyone know what that is?
Flower.
Very good. Ask a silly question, right? Can anyone tell me what type of flower, more so what type of plant it is?
Lavender.
No. It is technically a weed, but it's a hyacinth. Anyone heard of a hyacinth? So when you plant a hyacinth, what happens is you almost think that what you've done is a waste of time. Because how a hyacinth works is, in the first week, it appears to have done nothing. Right? In fact, up until the very end, when you've planted this in the water, because it grows in water, it doubles its growth overnight. Right? So you go from having absolutely no coverage on your pond, and you're questioning why you paid X amount of dollars to Bunnings to buy the stupid thing, right? To you go, great, now we can't see any water, and I'm questioning why I did buy this thing, because now I'm going to have to weed it, right? So it exponentially grows really quickly. And so what happens is, it just doubles, then doubles, then doubles. Now, you didn't buy any extra plants to make that happen. You bought one. But with a little bit of time and consistency of water, what happens to that plant is it just grows and it does all of this underneath the surface. In fact, until under most circumstances, until the pond is 100% full of the green, you'll never see the purple. So the end result is to get the purple, right? But you've got to put up with the green and the time, right, to get to the beautiful part of the purple. But when most people buy flowers, they want the end result, right? Which, if you're a guy, it is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, right? That's generally where we go with flowers. So that's the end result we're chasing. But in this case, when we're talking about networking, the end result is that we start to be able to be locked into the network to the point where we know who to refer to, hopefully first, but also to be able to start to have people to feel comfortable to refer back to us. The problem for most of us is when we get involved in networking or network building, as we talk about, is that it takes a while for the green to get a hold. And we stop just before we get to the point where the purple is there. Right? So as you can tell, I'm basically a gardener. I could give you the genus and all that, but you wouldn't be interested. Either would I. So where, why and how? It all starts with the invite. Jason was saying this before. It all starts with the invite to the hub. So the beauty of this event compared to others is that It's not a wander through the pokies, you ran out of money event. It's someone took their time to look at your profile, meet you, whatever it may be, and they saw enough in you to say, hey, I think you'd do well if you came to an event that I'm involved with, right? And they just come in and they start to then find out a bit about you, and they start to get to know you, and before you know it, you get the next part, which is you get to know, like, and trust people. Once you get to know, like, and trust people, it opens up the third part of this equation, which is results. You've got to go through the green to get to the purple. The problem for most of us, we've been taught in normal networking speak that we can go in straight away for the purple and forget that we're going to have to plant, grow, get to know, like, and trust before the results will come. So, I'm not saying that some people don't get some immediate results, but I will tell you this, that whatever the immediate result they got was, it was a quarter, tenth, fifth, whatever of what the long-term result could have been. Right? And so I'm going to go through some of those things. So let's talk about results. Nexus Distribution Group started in 2014. I started a job, basically, not a business. We had no network, we had an idea, because all businesses that start with an idea are straight away successful, right? No. So, being that was the case, we had no network, so I sat down with my uncle and he said, well, the first point of call would be find a network, because that's where they failed quickly, and found out that they needed a network, and he owns a small little company called Super Cheap Auto, so I figured he might know a little bit about business, just a little bit. 9 zeros on the right side of the decimal point. Tells you he knows a little bit about business. I've got zeros, not on the right side of the decimal point at this stage, right? So, always good to listen. So, we started the business, hard work. October 2014, we started networking in a similar environment to this. And because I came in thinking I need immediate results, because I had an immediate problem, we needed results, right? That's my immediate problem. I went, where's the results? I've been told this whole networking thing was like the panacea to my problem. How could this not have worked straight away? I've been here a whole night. What's going on? Right? So, but I was lucky in the person that invited me along was patient, firstly. But secondly, they took some time to sit down with me and go, hey, Brendan, you can't meet everyone in one night. And I went, I'll prove you wrong. But secondly, even if you do, the results will be very, very minute, if at all. So he said, chill a pill, right? Take a chill pill, settle down, just take some time. I'm smart when given a good idea, right? But I'm even smarter if someone hits me between the eyes with it. He hit me pretty hard with it, so I was pretty smart at that point, right? So keep coming with consistency. Came with some small wins. The longer we turned up, we got some small wins out of it. People started to realise that what we did was solar, because our name at the time didn't tell you we did solar. Always a good start. Right? In fact, my business partner at the time, he was so concerned that we weren't getting sales and that he wanted to change our business logo to "We'll Sell Your SHIT," because that's all we seemed to be asked to sell at the time, was everyone else's crap, not our own, right? And I said, I don't think that'll work either, so we might stick with what we're doing. So we changed our model to, we'd go out and we'd talk to a network of people. Because we were growing a network here, but that seemed to be too much greenery and not enough purple, right? So we went out and we thought, mortgage brokers are talking to people we want to talk to. They're buying homes, right? This will work. Has to work. It's got to be. So in the space of 3 months, we brought on 444 mortgage brokers, right? All doing between 5 to 20 mortgages a month. Now, in our game, we were like, So the boat I'm buying is 46 foot, right? The leather on the Maserati is going to feel amazing. What we found out was they didn't refer very well, right? Because they've got so much else going on, compliance-wise and everything. It was the last thing on their mind was to think about Brendan Robinson and his business that doesn't even say they sell solar, right? So we found out very quickly that wasn't going to be the be-all and end-all to my 46-foot yacht, right? That's just didn't work. So July started contributing. So in other words, in any way I could. So if they needed someone to move chairs around, I was going to happily do that. If it meant they needed someone to do some emceeing, you've probably guessed by now I'm very much a shrinking violet. I don't like the sound of my own voice, so that was hard for them to talk me into. But I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. So anywhere I could help, I decided I was going to start to contribute within the room. Right, and through some good coaching within the room, I stopped worrying about the end result, because I knew that given enough time, it's not whether the purple flowers will appear; it's just when. Right? Hear that out. It's not whether the purple flowers will appear; it's just when. Right? Try planting a rose bush. Fertilise it correctly and get it not to flower. They're built to do it, right? You build a network consistently enough, you will get the end result soon enough. Trust me. Right? So May 2016, second year, finally listened rather than simply hearing. And changed the model to suit a network builders model. Doubled our first year's turnover. Now, people go, that's amazing, you doubled your first year's turnover. Yeah, but we didn't have much of a turnover in the first year. So doubling it wasn't that hard. We were in a good place to start to double, right? So sounds impressive, and that's why I put it in. But apart from that, not all that impressive. 2017, Marco, who is currently in the room. Marco, where are you? Hello. Right. Hello, Brendan. Right. He joins our team as a referral partner / salesman. Introduced me to some contacts of his. See how this works? The contact has, to date, I think we're at over 2,000 homes now that contract, and we are the only solar company they're looking at. That will more than double our turnover again, by the way. Now the turnover's a little bit better now, so you can go, ooh, that's good. No, I'm joking. So, of which we now are starting to install. Still some more results. December 2016. Got some advice from a number of the collaborators in the room that the distribution group was an average name. We got attached to the name a little bit too much, I think. Took us a little while to figure this out. So we changed our name to Nexus Solar. And to say that the results of that were a slap in the face would be a slap in the face, because the results changed like that. People automatically knew what we did. I told my uncle about it and he said, well, duh, if your 8-year-old can't tell you what you do, why is that your business name? My excuse was, Indy's only 6. She's not 8, so I couldn't road test it at the time. He did what he normally does when I say something stupid, and he just sits there quietly and stares at me. But anyway. So May 2017, again, had doubled our turnover based on the business generating from within the room. So what I mean by that is, all of the business that came to us outside of the room, we didn't even include in that figure. We doubled what we turned over in the second year, in the third year, from just within the room. So that's just people saying, hey Brendan, I've got a friend that is talking about solar, can you go around there and annoy him a bit? I'm more than happy to annoy anyone, so I'm good to go, right? So we've done that, and we try and treat everyone the way I would want to be treated, because it's do unto others, right? That's just how we've worked. June 2017, I've been informed reliably that is actually about 2 months too early, right? I'm in sales. I'm going to make it sound better than it is, right? So just stick with me, right? But Ashley hand up please. He joined our team, had already been referring Nexus, so he'd already been telling people about us anyway. So it just seemed like a bit of a no-brainer. So when we were looking at it, it was a no-brainer. Referral rate hence increased again. Should have done it earlier. Right? Again, remember, not always the smartest, but I learn eventually, so we'll get there. So Ashley already had people in the room that were advocating for him, right? So when he came on board for us, those people that were advocating for him automatically advocated for us. What did I do for that?
Hired Ashley.
Hired Ashley. That's it. Who was already advocating for us anyway. So by simply having him come on board, our business footprint increased again. All right? And we'll go through that a little bit. December 2017, Harold joins the team. Harold, are you 2 R's or 1?
1.
Everyone just ignore the second R. He joined the team. Through Harold's brother with 2 R's, we signed up a client for a 100k system, the YMCA. And now quoting on 4 other systems the same or bigger size for them. On top of that, Harold's mum gets referrals like no other person I've met, and I think we're on our 4th deal through your mum. I'm about to hire his mum if he does. I mean, if he doesn't pick it up, you know what I'm saying. No, so again, it's just a no-brainer, right? 2018, Ashley introduces me to a contact, and his contact introduces me to his contact, opens up an opportunity for 400 homes, multiple 100 kilowatt plus deals in PNG. And that's a place we never would have looked, let's be honest. Without a contact, you don't go to PNG. That's a recipe for very soon needing to go on to Seek, right? Because you will not be successful without someone that already knows the landscape there. So we're extremely blessed, and we'll see where that goes. Right. So let's have a look at how much easier this room has made it as well. Right? Because this is a key, because we all get told that business or even roles that we do within our workplace are hard. This has to be hard. Anything easy isn't worth doing, which I just think is stupid, right? There's nothing wrong with things being easy, provided you value it, right? But in this room, we're extremely blessed, because we needed shirts done, right? And then I'm a bit of a wuss, so in the winter, when it drops below 21, I put on a jacket. So I went looking for who in the room already did this. So Tony and Denise, can you stand up for me for a second, please? Right. So these young people here, do you like that? Young? Hey? That'll get me a discount, right? Yeah. Good. They supplied and did all the embroidery for our shirts. Now, who's ever got embroidery done before and you get the shirt back and you kind of go, well, it's kind of a little off centre, or it's kind of not what... I know for a fact he did multiple tries of our product on shirts at his own cost to get it right. That doesn't happen in the real world, right? But within this world, it doesn't just happen, it happens every day, right? That to me was amazing. So we get all of our clothes and my wuss clothes to come. I've only been through 5 of these. Apparently I donate them to the homeless around Brisbane when I forget to pick them up, or they simply steal them. So they're plainly very good. So there you go. Illustrious Printing, we get our cards and all other printing done. So we've recently moved into doing thank you cards for all our clients. So normally what you do in print world is you go to them with a design, right? And you go and say, this is what we want to see. Can you make this happen? With Narelle, where are you? Do you want to stand up? Show your smiley face, right? We went to Narelle through Sam, and we said, we kind of have an idea what we want. Can you come up with some concepts for us, and then tell us how much you're going to what value you're going to add to our business with these, right? And in Narelle's case, Is she dearer than Vistaprint? Yes. But do we get it right the first time? Yes. Right? So, and on top of that too, Narelle helped us design all of our logos back into when we changed from being a distribution group that no one knew did solar to a solar group that everyone sort of understood we did solar on. She helped us design those logos, and she charged me a whopping amount for that. I keep telling her she undervalues her service. She should charge us more. Not me. Right? Anyone else we introduce to her, right? So stick with me. So from that perspective, we've got a sales team. Every one of these guys have come out of the room at some point. So that's Ashley, Harold, Marco, Brian. Brian, are you here tonight? So we're going to have chats. We've Ron, who also does, he's our hot water partner, came out of the room as well. Ron can't be here tonight. His child decided that them being sick was more important than him being here tonight. So I'll give him a pass on that. Right? So websites. So up until recently, we had a website where we went to just the general market and said, "Can you do this?" Guess what we got? A general market website that was, "Can you do this?" Right? So Tom and Tom, do you want to stand up? So Tom has a on the side business doing websites, right? And we said to him, "This is what we're chasing." He said, "Oh yeah, that'd be great. Oh, but why would you pay for all of it? Let's make the government pay for half." I'm like, "How long's this been going on for?" What a smart I am. I'm paying for everything, right? So we applied for that, and our website is being built as we speak. Yep, okay, cool. I'm getting them. Okay, right. Gift packs. So we searched within the room to see if anyone had a gift pack option. When I say we, I meant Sam. Search for that. So we eventually found someone who wasn't in the room, but she was a smaller business, and then we just wanted to support her, right? But at the same time, there was a young man in the room that was bringing in this stuff that apparently women love called champagne, right? And he said to me, I said, "Oh, can you do these?" And he said, "Well, I can't yet, but we will be able to down the track." And when I thought what he meant by that was a long way down the track. So we bought our third lot the other day, and we were at another meeting together, and he said, "Oh, we can do those now." I was like, that would have been useful information yesterday when we paid for these. But he then said, "So yeah, we can do this." And I said, "Well, rather than us just buy them through you, why don't we get a chance to collaborate and advocate for you here?" So we went back to our friends at the Gift Gallery and we said, "We're happy with your packs. These are what our packs look like. They are very nice." And our clients tend to love them. So we have a bottle of wine and some chocolates in that. Our guys deliver them hand-delivered. They put a handwritten note on them. Our clients think we're amazing. And that's because we are, right, guys? We are amazing. So, that's why. But I went to her and I said, "Look, I really like your packs, but I just don't want your bottle of wine in it anymore. I want Julian's." Why? Because that allowed Julian exposure to all of her business. So we could have simply taken Julian's wine and got 10 a week out of it and been, yay, feel good, we made Julian 10 more bottles of champagne sold, right? Or we can open the opportunity up for him and advocate for him, and now he has the opportunity to have a bite at all their business. So that only happened this afternoon. She said yes to the concept. So, congratulations. There's advocacy that can happen both ways here, right? So, business insurance. We were looking for someone else new in business insurance. So Jasmine starts coming along. Stand up, Jasmine. Why not? And she's now taking care of all our business insurance. Now, Jasmine's coming for a massive 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to make her work for it because that's too immediate in my opinion, right? No, I'm joking. So we've got personal trainers in this room. So he will tell you he's not my personal trainer at the moment because he would tell you that means you've got to train. Right? But this is Team Jacked. Right? This is Darren's brand. So Darren's down the back. Darren, wave or say hello. Right? If you're looking for someone to absolutely drive you to the point of death to get your goals and health under control, he is your man. Right? So, an amazing guy. If you get to have some of Darren's time, an amazing collaborator as well. If if you to meet someone and you don't know who invited you here tonight, he's a great place to start. He's an amazing guy. So make sure you spend some time with Darren. Personal business life coach, Martin Bentley Gimmins. He's a bit soft tonight. That's what happens when you're from Scotland. They don't do well in the Commonwealth Games. He gets all upset about it. But so he's currently in bed. He's not well apparently. So I told him to drink some of his namesake. But anyway, being Scottish, I thought that might help. Network building coach, Matt's teaching me, because you're daft if you think you can do it on your own. You're better off doing it with the power of 2, 3 or 4 behind you. So Matt's showing me how and what and where to do in growing my network at the different stages that we're all at, because each of us are going to be at different stages within this journey of growing your network. So it's always good to have someone greater than yourself looking in and saying, that's a good idea, Brendan, or maybe let's not do that part. Let's look this way. Or my suggestion would be maybe we add this in, which is generally code for add this in, right? And in my case, I try to listen. He'll probably tell you I don't all the time, but anyway, stop laughing. My personal super. So Laura Wilson, do you want to stand up? I'm only doing this because I hate it. All right. So Laura took over my super, about 6 months? No, it's about 6, probably 6 months ago. So previous to that, I was with the same firm, just a different branch of the firm. So in the 6 months I've been with Laura, we have already earned more in my super fund than they did in 2.5 years. In the 2.5 years I was with them, I had 2 phone calls. 2. I think that was to tell me they're about to charge me for money for my life insurance and all that kind of stuff, right? In the 6 months I've been with Laura, I get almost an SMS every couple of weeks, a phone call. Then her boss also sends me these emails that basically say, if you don't buy these, you're nuts, right? But it's working, right? So do I care? No, I love it. I think it's awesome, right? So again, if you're looking for someone, you know where to go. Admin specialist. So being that I am such an introvert and just a detailed person, I don't need someone to take care of the back end of my business at all, right? It just happens so smoothly when I'm doing it, right? So we brought in a specialist to do it. Do you want to stand for us, Sam? This is actually kind of fun. You should try it. So Sam's come in and she's... over time, she's whipping the back end of my business into shape so that it's ready for the next level of growth. Because while we're starting to see some purple flowers, the pond ain't full yet. But the pond can't get to full unless we've got underneath the greenery ready to go to survive that next level of growth too. So we needed people like Sam, and she is an expert at it. So if you need an expert, she'd be a good place I'd be looking. Anyway, so trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It is the foundation principle that holds all relationships. Stephen Covey. If you haven't, there's a great book called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey Jr. Yes, it's his son, right? So, really good book, worth a read. If you haven't read it, if you're like me and you're not the biggest reader, there's this thing called Audible. You can listen to it. I just think that's genius. Whoever thought of that? What an ideas man. So, how did this all happen? Good looks? No, it wasn't based on my good looks. I know what you're thinking. Hard to believe, right? We'll move on quickly. Money changing hands. So no, we don't pay anyone for the leads that come out of this room. We don't go, oh, well, here's a quick 50. Just make sure next time you hear solar, if you could think about us. We don't do that at all, right? Sexy business cards. Narelle, they're great business cards. But they ain't the reason that this is working for us. Right? The reason is simply because of this. Contribution and trust. If you're going to get involved in a room like this, the currency that works here, right, is contribution and trust. What's trust all about? Right? Contribution and trust. People just didn't start referring to brand Brendan and brand Nexus Solar straight away. It wasn't we turned up, the light came through the clouds and it was, oh, they're here. None of that happened, right? So people didn't just start referring. It took a little bit of consistency and time. However, once we started to contribute by bringing people back, rising tide lifts all ships. By bringing back, by being seen to contribute, it started the bank. Being good people or amazing in your industry simply just didn't, it counts for little. Right? We've had people come through the room that are experts in their field. Notice I said through the room. They were after the purple without the green. Right? Stick with me. I started to refer our clients to others within the room. Rainmaking, we call it. Starting to send people that weren't even our clients. I'd hear about someone and say, you need to speak to this person. But rather than me just pointing, I would either set up a meeting or a referral, or I'd send an email, or I'd give them a phone call and say, look, this person's going to ring you. In my opinion, you would have rocks instead of brains if you didn't take their phone call, and this is why I would say that, right? But because I had relationship there, they went, oh, okay, Brendan, if you say so, I'll have a look. Now that didn't mean they got the job, or that didn't mean they got the whatever I was referring them for, but it got them an in that they couldn't have got otherwise. I mean, in the case of jobs, if you weren't here for Tom's talk, ask for that one as well. But you know, he said he had a full-time job looking for jobs, right? That's because Seek works so well. The figures are getting as low as 25% of jobs that actually exist are going on to Seek now. That was a figure bantied around on the radio the other day, so it has to be true. The only thing that would validate that anymore if it was on Facebook. I mean, that's about it, right? So anyway, oh, did I go backwards? I don't know. So what is the bank I talk about? The bank is the bank of trust. Like most banks, you must deposit before you can withdraw. People like to come in and think that they can have trust in a second. But they forget that trust is actually, combined with consistency, the greenery that allows you to get the purple. Right? So that's the bank I talk about. If you're going to bank something in this room, bank trust and consistency. Contribute. Become someone that gets known as someone that adds value, not someone that takes value. Because that'll quickly mean that your hyacinth doesn't grow. And at the end of the day, trust equals consistency and time. With that trust, you'll grow more greenery, you'll grow more flowers, and ultimately it will get you what you're chasing.